Hey guys, welcome to a brand new 3 Cam with Gino. New location, once again, my house. Just been enjoying the last week of wrestling, trying to follow the storyline, see if anything's played off of or what's heading into WrestleMania, or sorry, Hot WrestleMania, SummerSlam, whatever you want to call it. Um, Here comes Toddy. Doggy! Hug me, doggy! Um, Absolutely fantastic, and this is not biased recently because it was a week ago, but we may have had the show of the year, and we definitely had the match of the year. We'll talk about that when we get to it. And I'll be reviewing an AEW All In next week because I've not had the opportunity to watch it. Will not be talking about Saturday night's main event. Don't care enough. Don't really give a shit about Goldberg. I want to say Goldberg needs to shut up. Guess what? Yeah, your retirement speech got ruined. But you could barely react. You were in Wrestle 3, you were in Novel, you had 4 moves, and you ended the career of arguably the greatest wrestler in the history of wrestling. Therefore, I give you no time, no respect, and that's about the only thing I mentioned on Bill Goldberg on the show. The guy can shut his mouth. Apparently, there's nothing but a backstage baby the whole time. The guy legitimately thought he was a superhero. Hug me! He'd be perfect for Hug Me over there at AEW. But I will be watching that show. I saw a few of the clips. Apparently, Tony Storm won up the Mickey James Trish Stratus angle from about 25 years ago. If you know, you know. And apparently, Mercedes Money tastes great. Apparently, Toddy Pizza tastes great. All right, guys, we're gonna get right into it with some Great American Bash talk. Very good pay-per-view. Was it as good as I said it was gonna be? Let's wait and see. Javon Evans versus Jasper Troy. This is Jasper Troy's very first ever. I call it pay-per-view, but it's being referred to as PLEs because I'm old school. I just call pay-per-view. We had Jasper Troy's very first ever PLE on WWE. I kept trying to think of where I saw this guy before, and I remember Jasper Troy is part of the House Rose in independent wrestling in Texas. If you know who the House Rose is, then you know who Rachel Rose is, and that girl should one day be in the WWE. She's so very, very fucking good, and a very close friend of Roxanne Perez. But Javon Evans versus Jasper Troy, very good match. Shows a very good story of a big guy that's a bully, versus the smaller dude who just flies all around the place. Just power and strength. Very good storytelling. Jasper Troy dominated most of the match like he should have. Um, Javon Evans had his moments, and it was a very good match. It told the story well, and we're not going to see any more of it. As Jasper Troy was defeated in his very first match, but he played a little bit more of a role later on in the night. We'll talk about that later on. Some memorable moments and not some memorable moments in this match, but Jasper Troy is going to be Star's a monster heel big guy. We already can see that coming. And we all know what everyone thinks of John Evans. That guy I see future champion of the world on that guy's CV resume, whatever you want to call it. That dude is going to be rocket shipping very soon. He is extremely athletic, extremely likable, extremely charismatic, just energetic. He excuse me, he reminds me of this generation's of 1, 2, 3 Kid. If you guys know, you know. Um, if you got about 14 minutes, I'd go check it out. It's a decent match, very good match. On my rating scale, I'm going to give it a silver. It's not the greatest match, but it's not the worst match, so therefore we'll go silver plus. Zari and Izzy Dame. I didn't say this yet, but I've been talking to a few people, and this is Izzy Dame's coming up party. I saw, sorry, Solruka versus Izzy Dame. I already knew how good Izzy Dane was. Or sorry, not Izzy Dane, Solruka. You guys know how long I've been singing the praises of Solruka. This girl is absolutely beautiful for one thing. Um, and the thing she does in the ring, she does so flawlessly, and a lot of you have not seen anyone ever do before. Like that running cartwheel, handspring, flip to the outside she does, and she sticks perfectly. Let's just also give Solruka the MVP of the weekend. She had 4 matches in 3 days. Absolutely insane. The girl is amazing. That's all I'm going to say. I will only say that. There's nothing else you can say. Um, very good match. Like I said, Izzy Dame got a lot offensive, which is kind of shocking. I thought it would be kind of back and forth a bit of wrestling tennis. This was not that. Izzy Dame controlled most of the match, and Tatum Paxley tried to interfere a few times. Zarya finally got revenge on Sons. Izzy Dame, Tatum. Solroka had a very crazy soul snatcher after it was teased a few times, and even with a few very, very close near falls for Izzy Dame, even right away, she hits her finishing move about 5 seconds into the match. and dominated Slow Ruka for a good majority of the match, I'd say. Slow did some very good job selling her ass off, making Izzy Dame look good. But I've noticed for a while Izzy Dame has been getting better and better in the ring and is a clear leader of the calling. Sean Spears is the most charismatic, but Izzy Dane, I think, is the most talented of the four. It is four again because now it's two girls and two guys. Excuse me, guys. It's been a very, very long week. But overall, very good match. I thought it was a very good performance from both ladies, and the seconds involved, Izzy Dame, or sorry, Tatum Paxley and Zarya did a very good job in their roles. Um, like I said, this elevated Izzy Dane. She's going to be a star soon. Saruka is a goddamn star. I've been saying that for a while. I saw it everywhere before she ever won a North American title. This is going to get a gold plus for me. I thought it was a very good match. Then we had Ethan Page versus Ricky Saint. Also, sorry if you have about 12 minutes, because that's how long this was given. Go watch it. All I'm going to say about this, Falls Count Anywhere, Ethan Page and Ricky Saint. Instant chemistry. You guys know what I think of these two. They're both fucking amazing. Absolutely brilliant. They're two of the best. I think they're two of the best professional wrestlers on the planet, in my personal opinion. Ricky Saints is very good. Ethan Page is very good at doing what he does in the ring and making you hate him. Insane, probably one of the insane spots of the year. We saw Razor's Edge, All Eagles Edge, whatever you want to call it, from the stage through tables for the win by Ethan Page. Shocking, excuse me, guys. I thought Ethan Page would definitely drop the belt and head to the main roster. Apparently not yet, but he will be headed there shortly. I can see that in the future, as well as Ricky Saints. But Ricky, like I was saying, Javon Evans is a playing fun over there. Jasper Troy gets involved in this match. He actually hits a tree slam onto Ricky Saints onto a briefcase, onto a road case that kind of plays a little bit of it, but doesn't really do much. They end up fighting all over the arena because it's Falls Count Anywhere match, like I said. And Ethan Page hits an insane Ollie goes edge from the top of a stage through tables, and you can see Ricky Saints had kind of ricochet off the concrete a little bit. But if you have about 15 minutes in your day, go check this out. This is also going to get a gold plus. Obafemi versus Yoshiki Inamura, and Josh Briggs on the outside playing that guy that will do anything to help his buddy win. And Inamura trying to win by being clean. There's a couple crazy spots where Inamura is so very close to winning, including a ref bump. Excuse me, Briggs tries to cheat for Inamura, and Inamura doesn't let it happen, so that tag team is no more. Josh Briggs is now full blown heel. And this is the closest we've ever seen Obafemi to losing. This is the most beatdown we've seen Obafemi in a match ever. Absolutely brilliant, great storytelling. Inamura just made himself a star. Obafemi should be the main roster a long time ago. I don't know who's taking the belt from Obafemi. Maybe they'll shock us and they'll give it to Josh Briggs. Um, I wouldn't be upset. It wouldn't be the worst thing he could do. But I think Inamura's given that performance has shown that he can take the ball and run with it. For those of you that don't know much about Yoshiki Inamura, you just became fans. I'm also going to give this match a gold plus. So we got three straight gold pluses in a row. Then we got Jordan Grace, sorry, and Blake Monroe versus JC Jane and Fallon Henley. Jordan Grace took a beating for the majority of this match, but like I predicted, they were going to win. This match was very predictable. There's never any jeopardy in who's losing this match because I think everyone knew JC Jane was going to win at Evolution. Um, it was a decent match. It's not something you're going to remember. The four girls kicked ass doing their job. Fallon Henley is criminally underrated. Blake Monroe had a very good debut, but she just used. There's something about her. Maybe she's not connected yet, but maybe it's the time she got off in the ring. She left a little step behind. These four girls, excuse me, guys. Apparently getting an in-ring debut next week on NXT, and she would also play a role later on Evolution on Sunday. We'll talk about that when we get to that. Decent match, like I said. It wasn't the most memorable thing. Jasmine Nix was the one who fumbled the ball in this match because the Fatal Influence had it draw one on many occasions, and she kept doing the wrong things that kind of teased kicking him out of the group. She hasn't wrestled in a while. If she's injured, nobody's really said anything. Um, like I said, very good match. Laid some Easter eggs and hints everywhere that maybe Jordan Grace could possibly win on Sunday. We'll talk about that when we get to the Evolution pay-per-view. There was some memorable spots. Like I said, Jordan took a beating for the majority of this match, selling in Pearl. Every time Blake Monroe got her tag, the crowd exploded because they wanted to see what she could do. Very impressive. Like I said, she seemed a little bit behind. Maybe not used to a style where people aren't kicking her in the vagina or trying to bust her open or do God knows what else like she done for the last couple of months with Tony Storm there. Completely different wrestling style and storytelling and everything for her, so she had to get used to that. As compared to AEW. Just very different women's divisions and competitions. And that's no disrespect to AEW, but they should stick to the two belts they have in that company over there. They should not have a tag team division in AEW for the women. Because legitimately, for women who are going to be good at tag team wrestling, I said it, I'll say it again. Anna Jay is not a good wrestler. She shouldn't be featured on TV. She should, I think, Feel the Wrath has passed Anna Jay in in-ring talent, and she has a broken face. There's no question with Anna Jay. She can't sell. She can't do anything. But that's neither here nor there. This match, I'm going to give it a silver plus. It was good. It did the job it was supposed to do. Kind of laid some seeds that we may have a future title match in the works. Maybe it'd even be for two belts. Maybe it won't be for any belts because JC Jane took the pin and she wasn't pinned by Jordan Gray. She was pinned by Blake Monroe, who hit the same double arm DDT that a lot of people, including the AEW champion and Elena Black used, but hers does not look as deadly. I don't know if she uses less force or she lets go too quick or what it is, but it's just something about it seemed weird and off. Um, JC Jane sold the hell of it. JC Jane's criminally underrated for people that do not realize that. Like I said, that he kind of planted some seeds and laid some teasing going into Sunday nights. But Jordan Grace walked away with the win, so she had a little bit of a mind game advantage due to the fact that she was on the team that was able to beat the champion. Now let me pull up the Evolution card, which I truly think may be the card of the year. Like I said, it might be recency bias, but it really can't be because it was a week ago, and we shouldn't wait 8 more years for this. Or seven, sorry. Because 2018 was the first one, and it disappeared for so long. And also, what the hell are we doing with Julia? She won the United States Championship, and she hasn't done a single thing since. Well, we'll talk about that when we talk about it. But Evolution opened up with a triple threat match, and this is going to get a gold plus right away. These three girls have absolute chemistry, and it is insane. Probably one of the best finished pins you'll ever see in your life. It's a surprise roll up, but the way they execute this, you have to go check it out. It's Becky Lynch, Lyra Valkyria, and Bailey, and that's all I'm going to say because think of the names I just mentioned. Absolutely brilliant. I think it's one of the matches of the year, in my personal opinion. These two girls have chemistry up the ass together. If you have about 17 minutes, go check this out, please. And also think about this is how Becky's trying to do this while her husband, she's trying to deal with the fact that her husband just blew out his knee the day before. For these of you that don't know yet, it was announced Seth is going to be gone at least 6 months. So that fucking sucks. But absolutely brilliant match. All three of these women told a great story right off the bat. Becky just punches Lyra in the face to get her out of the ring. We're also this leads into Monday Night match where Lyra has beat Bailey, and I'll get a third match with Becky. She beat Bailey in a 2 out of 3 falls match, and I think Bailey's about to turn heel. But we're getting our finale in this series between Bailey and Lyra. They're tied at 2-2. Whoever wins this gets the win. And that's going to be at Hot WrestleMania. SummerSlam, whatever you want to call it. But like I said, absolutely brilliant. Lots of teasing. Everyone hits their finishing moves, and somebody else breaks it up during this match. A few other close falls. Lyra actually hits a crazy perpeteer, if you want to call it, double onto both Bailey and Becky at the same time. Insane spot, absolutely insane. Has to be seen to be noticed, witnessed. Um, This is just like I said before. I even talked about the match getting gold plus. This is arguably going to be talked about again later on by me during the year in our final wrap up of the year. But this weekend probably gave me 3 or 4 matches of the year contenders that I've really enjoyed. Like I said, gold plus plus. Jesse Jane and Jordan Grace was next. This match was good. I'll say that. It was what I expected to be and a little more. Jordan is, to me, a little bit clunky in the ring. Maybe it's because she's too big. I don't know. And big, I don't mean like big, I mean she's like too muscular. I don't know what it is, but something with Jordan and me in the ring is not connecting. She's a little muscle hamster, but I just don't know if she knows how to work with the growth of NXT, to be honest. And she's now 0 for 3 for the NXT title, so she should no longer be challenging or anybody close to the NXT title. She should be headed to the main roster as she concludes this next feud she has coming up. Very good match. JC Jane controlled some of the offense. Jordan controlled a fair bit. This was kind of back and forth for a little bit. Um, Fatal Influence did try to get involved, and there was a tease where well, call her Maria May. Blake Monroe actually took out Fallon Henley, and the belt ended up in Jasmine Nick's hands. She was about to hit Jordan Grace, and well, let's say Blake Monroe, Goldberg, JC Jane, or sorry, not JC Jane, Jasmine Nix. She had the belt in her hands, and everyone's smiling because she thinks she's about to hit um Fallon, or sorry, JC Jane. And I knew the whole time I'm like, she's gonna hit Jordan Grace. So you watching my video, I'm like, she's turning heel, right? And she not even trying to fake it or anything. Like they do the switch, and JC throws Jordan Grace against the ropes, and you see Blake Monroe like right at Jordan coming at her, and she smacks her in the belt back anyways. JC Jane hits a roaring elbow. JC Jane pins Jordan Grace, and now JC Jane is going to be defending her NXT title this Sunday versus Masha Slamovich in TNA's Slammiversary. I don't think WWE is going to take another TNA title like they did already. But I also think TNA is going to take a title back from WWE. I don't think TNA is going to be able to win both belts. I think there's going to be some sort of a disqualification where neither one of these women's belts goes anywhere. And TNA is going to be kind of pissed off by this due to the fact that WWE legitimately took their biggest prize. Maybe they did a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, and TNA is going to get the NXT women's title for a little bit. I'll have Masha 2 belts, and Jace will go around blaming everybody else. And that'll be see the dissolution of Fatal Influence. But this match, like I said, in of itself, it's going to get us over to the draw. It led to our next feud for Jordan Grace, and hopefully the last one, and maybe leading into some Blake Monroe's championship. Because I think Blake Monroe might be the one that's going to take the belt off of. I'm going to make the prediction right now. I think NXT is going to have a new champion. I think it's going to be Masha Slamovich. Although JC James, a double champion, would be very unbearable as well. So who knows what they do. Following that, we had the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defending their tag team titles against if you have if you have about 10 minutes just out of your day, if you want to check it out, I would. It's nothing to write home about, but it does tell an interesting story. That being Jordan Grace and JC Jane. And then we have the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez taking on Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, that We Are Not Friends team, taking on the Kabuki Warriors, taking on Zarya and Sol Ruka. And before we even talk about anything else, this match is very good as well. I'm gonna give it an A or gold, whatever you want to call it. Gold and A are the same thing to me. These 8 women are all very, very well. Raquel's getting a lot better, but 7 of these 8 women are all very, very good wrestlers. Zarya's a very good monster. Charlotte, as much as people want to hate her, is one of the best in the world. As far as I'm concerned, Asuka is probably the second best in the world, man or woman. That I've been a fan of that girl since she was Kana in Japan. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look up YouTube and look up Kana. If you don't know who Kana is, you live under a rock. Call yourself a wrestling fan. Asuka Kana is extremely good. Io Sky, or sorry, Kyrie Sane, incredible. Um, Alexa Bliss. Everyone knows what I feel about Alexa Bliss. Everyone knows I think about Roxy. I think Roxy is the future of wrestling. Not just women's wrestling, wrestling in general. That girl is so, so, so very good. So, so very good. And so very young. She just gets it, man. But this match is, like I said, 8 very good women carrying down the house and trying to one up each other. There's very good close falls each way. You kind of knew the whole time the NXT team was going to be the team taking the pinfall. There's one crazy spot where Soruka hits her innovative, like weird lung blower, where instead of using her knee, she puts her feet up, falls backwards, and has Alexa set up for a spear. Perfect picture, perfect timing on this. The Charlotte pin pulls her out of the way, and Zarya hits Saruka with the spear, like not even be able to stop, like within a quarter of an inch. Perfect timing. This was one of the crazy spots. Another very crazy spot in this match is when Raquel Rodriguez Tahana bombs Kairi Sane onto Alexa Bliss onto an entire crowd of people, and Roxy's springboard moonsault's incredible. Roxy hits a crazy pop rocks onto Charlotte. Charlotte eats the soul snatchers Felicity. Don't sell Charlotte is selfish and not willing to sell for others. Go fuck yourselves. I'm not the biggest Charlotte fan, but she worked her ass off in this match. The Kabuki Warriors are just so good. That's all I'm gonna say about that. They did a lot of insane spots. They even beat the fuck out of Alexa Bliss and Saruka for a little bit. They are deadly. Um, like I said, this match is gonna get a gold for me, gold plus, whatever you want to call it. Absolutely incredible match. Very good. Had the fat crowd eating out of their palms from start to finish. That finish happened after Zarya hit Saruka with the spear. She was taken out of the match, and everyone else was taken out with that Katana bomb by Raquel Rodriguez of Alexa Bliss onto everybody. And then she hit the second Tahana bomb onto Saruka, and Saruka is pinned. So I don't know if that's going to be future where Saruka has to defend the NXT title against NXT North American title against Raquel. I doubt that's going to happen. It's not been mentioned since. So therefore, still your tag team champions probably to Hot WrestleMania. Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez. Following that, guys, we had our Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus match. This is a very short match, only about 8 minutes ish. Tiffany dominates parts of it. Trish dominates parts of it. Trish works her ass off, and we have to remember Trish is into her, if not close to her 50s, and this girl is still so incredibly good. Um, very good story. Interesting, kind of slow to start, but then it gets going, and I'm pretty sure at one point, if you saw my reaction in the actual video, I'm pretty sure Tiffany landed on Trish's face with the PME, but Tiffany does win the match. You're okay, Todd. Very good match. Like I said, it's kind of like friends goofing around for a little bit, then it gets physical. And at the end, Tiffany leaves the ring and lets Trish have her moment. And if that is the last time we see Trish Stratus, I'm gonna say thank you, Trish. And if it is, it's kind of a poor way for WWE to ride her out. But I think she will get her moment. I think she will get her match. Trish Stratus is not just in women's wrestling and wrestling in general, one of the most important figures in the history of wrestling, in my personal opinion. Um, like I said, I've met Trish. Trish is one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. I'll tell you guys a story. I was probably about 16, 17 at the time. One of the, if you live in Vancouver, you know our rainstorms. This one was horrendous. And I'd gotten there early. You should up to meet her because I wanted to meet her. I had a DVD and a bit late. The line pretty much, if you live in Quitlam, wrapped around Future Shop to where the Chinese restaurant is. I was in the middle, and she was only scheduled to be there for I think it was 3 hours at the time. Long story short, she stayed to meet everyone and was so friendly and awesome and talked to everyone for at least 2-3 minutes at a time. And I remember because she's a Leafs fan, I was a Canucks fan. She ugly jersey, but I respect the player because that's where my Pavel Bure jersey gave me a nice smile and a laugh. Chick, I'm just kidding. It's a rivalry without hockey in Canada, right? And yeah, like I said, just not just because of the way she treated me, but the way I started treating other people. She's legitimately one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. The match with Tiffany, like I said, very good match. It did the job it was supposed to do. Tiffany obviously retained the belt. That was the only one that's kind of, you don't know what's going to happen. Well, you know what's going to happen before it happened type of thing on the pay-per-view. Because we're getting Tiffany versus Jade at Hot WrestleMania, SummerSlam, whatever you want to call it. And I think Tiffany should win that too, but we'll see. Um, I'm going to give it a gold just because the two people involved in the way they worked their ass off and Trish showed their ass off. And you could tell the way the crowd reacted to Trish actually meant something to her. and her family was there so they could see her wrestle at all women's pay per views for the first time ever. Trish is one of the only people that's been on both, which is kind of cool. I think Bailey, Becky, and Charlotte are the only other ones, and Nikki, sorry. Following that, I believe was the women's battle royal for who was going to go to Clash of the Castle and win the belt or get house shot house, right? Jade Cargill versus Naomi street fight. Absolutely brilliant match. Naomi's plays an unhinged character and she plays it so very, very well. Jade sold her ass off. This is the most pro we've seen Jade in at any point. Um, as somebody who's supposed to be biased and undecided what she's gonna do, Bianca Belair didn't do much of anything. I think it was my only disappointing part of the entire match was Bianca Belair's inability to adapt and figure out what she's supposed to do in the match. If that makes sense to you guys, she could have kind of teased she was going one way or the other during the match, but she really didn't do much of anything at all. Um, like I said, very good match. These two girls worked their ass off. There's a lot of near falls with Naomi, where you thought she was going to beat Jade, but she was never going to beat Jade. And there's a reason why, because she got paid off at the end of the show. You saw my reaction in the video, you know. Um, like I said, great match. Kind of made Jade look tougher as a person fighting from under, and Naomi doing anything to win made it look good too. Crazy spot to end the match though is I don't know what Naomi was going for up there. Maybe her split leg and moonsault or something. Jay turns around, hits a Jada through a table, and she kind of misses a little bit because we see Naomi's head ricochet off the mat. And Naomi even sold the injuries later on when she comes out again. Great match. Jade wins. Jade wins the series 2-0, and that's going to get a goal for me as well. Then we have the women's battle royal. Um, it's as good as it could have been for a battle royal. I was losing my mind at certain parts. Kind of pissed me off that both Tatum and God damn it, Tatum and her partner, Izzy Dane were the very first two people to eliminate. They were eliminated by Nia Jax, and for some weird, strange reason, Nia Jax and Candice LeRae were reunited in this Royal Rumble, even though Nia's not been on TV for a while, and Candice is a part of the way again, or DIY, whatever you want to call it. It didn't make no sense. The entire Harvest came out together, which was kind of cool. Um, I don't know what's going on with Selena Vega. Apparently, she's like some sort of zombie in the match. I don't know what her gimmick was. Didn't figure that out. I wish there was a little bit more surprise of returning entrants, but they had nobody. It's kind of cool the respect they paid for the legends around the ring. I forgot them all, but if you go check it out, my reaction video, you'll see. Also, side note, my condolences to Mark Henry, whose mother died this week, and if somebody who's lost a parent, um, I feel your pain, and I'm very sorry for your loss, sir. Mark Henry, for those of you who don't know, was a huge supporter of women's wrestling and scout for a lot of women's wrestlers. Nikki Bella was in the match. She got no reaction whatsoever when they played her music, and she re-debuted on Raw and claimed she forgot that she can't do the rack attack anymore. But if you watch the match with Chelsea Green on Raw, I'm not going to really talk about it. But Nikki Bella shouldn't wrestle anymore. I'm going to leave it at that. There's a lot of not even just a missed rack attack that turned into God knows what that finisher was. But Chelsea covered up a lot of glaring holes. But Nikki was like I'm not trying to shit on Nikki Bella. She was never the best wrestler in the world. She was always a great character. She was a good diva. She was never a wrestler. Like AJ Styles, not pipe bomb. Or AJ Lee, sorry. In that pipe bomb she had was telling the truth. There's no lie in that whatsoever. Sorry, guys. Nikki Bella has never been a personal favorite of mine. She never will be. Whatever people think she did for women's wrestling, they can think. But to me, Nikki Bella did nothing. Her sister was worse. But Nikki and Brie did nothing for women's wrestling. They were just eye candy, in my personal opinion, who had a little bit of talent, but not a lot. Um, of course, this was predictable, but what wasn't predictable is who the last two were going to be. Well, one of them, Stephanie Van Kerr, the other one, and this is a person I've been singing the praises for a while now. People finally listened. I told Colin and everybody who listened to me was Lash Legend, who I think is pretty much on her way to the main roster. She was the final two. That's her and Stephanie Van Kerr eliminated Nia Jax, and then as Wade Barrett called it repeatedly, the bouncy eliminated Lash Legend as she was devil's kissed on the ring apron and it just fell off. It's kind of a clunky moment because I think Lash was too big for Stephanie to pull over and she kept getting tangled in the ropes. And you see they finally executed it. They didn't give up, so good for them. and Stephanie's gonna go to Clash of Paris, and I think she's going to beat Naomi there because she's on Raw, right? Well, Naomi's defending against Charlotte and Io, and I don't think you're taking the belt off Naomi already. That'd be bullshit. Sorry, my personal opinion. Rhea and Io, sorry, not Charlotte and Io. But also, I just kind of spoiled the main event for the either don't know. I'm not going to do any justice by talking about it, but the match of the year was had as the main event. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley stole the fucking year. I'm going to leave it at that. You saw my reaction the way I was going, and my personal opinion, I've been calling Tessa the best in the world for a long time now. Io Sky just completely changed my mind with that performance. Io Sky, male, female, transsexual, whatever you want to call it, alien, bear, cow, doesn't matter. Io Sky is the best professional wrestler on the fucking planet. There's no doubt in my mind now at this point after that match. Rhea is awesome and Rhea is very, 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 very good. But Io Sky might be the. I've been watching wrestling a long time and I've been fans of a lot of people. Shawn Michaels is one of the very best I've ever seen. Bret Hart might be the best I've ever seen. Chris Benoit, you guys know, is one of my personal favorites. Diehard Owen Hart fan. Io Sky might be the best professional wrestler I've ever seen. Everything she does is perfect. Pinch, you're perfect. Pinpoint, perfect. Her selling, her moveset, her ability to speak, even though it's not very good. Her English isn't her first language. Every hero way she emotes. Everything about Io Sky is perfect. This girl is just her attacks, her ability to suffer her opponents, everything about it. Um, like I said, just watch this match. I'm not gonna even talk about it. I'm gonna give it a gold, two triple plus, A+ gold medals, bajillion to the moon. I don't know how to rate that, but if Dave Meltzer doesn't give that thing anything more than a 10 out of, or even a 20 out of 10, he can go fuck himself too. Um, if you have about 20, 30-ish minutes out of your time, all I'm gonna tell you is Naomi comes out at the end and takes the belt with the Money in the Bank. Oh, yeah, in a minute, Dots. Absolutely, this is without a shadow of a doubt, unless something could change my mind at some point later on. This match is, there's not even going to be doubt in my mind. This match is on my list, and it probably will be the match of the year. This is this is what wrestling should be, in my personal opinion. It's absolutely brilliant. Everything about it, even to the ref bump where Rhea loses her mind and tries to attack EL outside the ring. And if you don't know, watch the match. You have Netflix. Do yourself a favor. Take 26 minutes out of your time. It's 26 minutes. If you're a wrestling fan, you can spare 26 minutes if you have not seen this yet. Um, One of the best matches I've seen in a very, very, very long time. This may cap the triple threat they had at WrestleMania. But on that note, guys, I am going to head out of here, and I hope you guys enjoyed the two out of the three WWE shows that we had this weekend as much as I did. All right, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.